Sorry guys for the delay. End of day at the vet was extremely crazy, and traffic coming back home was kind of crazy as well. But we are here, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and start get the ball rolling. So let me first go ahead and make sure. Yeah, so this is, we have a game that just finished about 6 minutes ago. In theory, we should be at about 36 remaining. So we should have one more round based on what I can see. Let's go ahead and do the overview. I really hate this new system. I cannot see the ranks, and it's not that easy as you can see to scroll down. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult to do what we want to do, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and try. So that means that we're going to be moving on in tables rather than players, like we had been doing. So we're going to move to table 1. Today it is 4, 5, and it was 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 5, 6, and 7. That means that in table 1, we will have PSC to Biz against Chile. PST to Biz is on the top. He ended losing on step 7. But what I want to do, like I always say, is I want to feature as many players as I can. So I'm going to do table 1, table 2 on step 6, and table 2 on step 7 as well, so that we can have a little bit more variety in our matches. In our featured players, so rather. Let me just go ahead and check something over here. I just want to make sure that I have the right... Oh, I can see the chat over here. Okay, so... Didn't show up here. Let's see if I can at least see it over here. Live should be moving on. Yep, it is. And let me do the chat test over here as well. And it's not showing up on either one. So let me go ahead and take this. 1, 2, 3. No, this is not showing up the chat either way. So what I'm going to do is, let me go ahead and put this in do not disturb. Let me open up the stream here so that I can have both chats. So for that, I'm going to open YouTube over here. This is my profile. And there we go. Let me just make sure. Full series replays. There we go. So yeah, everything here is okay. I just need to move over here so I can have both chats available for me. Go. And we are live. There we go. Okay, so they are both looking good. Now I have both chats open. In theory, this means that I should be able to see everything going on. So with that, let's go ahead and start with, let me just make sure it was 5, right? 5, 6, and 7. Yes, so let's go ahead and start with table 5. Congratulations to Chile, moving all the way to table 1. I'm proud of you. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to see it from Toby's point of view. This is going to be his deck, and this is going to be Chile's. Yep, there we go. So let's go ahead and check Chile. I'll see how he is doing. So he came here. He actually was able to win a game on table 1, then moved to table 1 again, moved down to table 6, and then we lost him in the shuffle. But let's go ahead and check his deck. This is a CG's pretty tight deck. So we have the Ordis Trooper. If you control when play from hand, if you control a token, create an Ordis recruit 1/1/1 token in your hero expedition. When another non-token character joins your expedition, create an Ordis soldier in your companion expedition. Okay. We also got the Legion Commander. At dusk, if you control 4 more characters, draw 2 cards. Very strong. Very strong Echo. When another non-token character joins your expedition, create an Ordis recruit 1/1/1 in your hero expedition. Okay, always in the hero expedition. And when play from hand, create an Ordis recruit soldier in your companion expedition. So if this is indeed a Sigismund, that is 1. With him, it's 2. With the Ordis recruit, he creates it's 3. And if you play something else, you already got the 4 characters to draw 2 cards. And finally, the Baba Yaga. When play from reserve, if you control 2 or more landmarks, draw a card. When play from hand, if you control 3 or more characters, draw 2 cards. Very good thing to have. Doesn't take full advantage of the Baba Yaga because he doesn't have any landmarks. But let's see how it played in the end. Then we got PST Tobis from Italy. So this is an Italian against a US player. We got the Ozma. When I leave the expedition zone, if you control 1 or more landmarks, draw a card. Hua Mulan. When play from reserve, I lose fleeting. And when play from anywhere, resupply. The stats are very good for a auto losing fleeting character. Then the Smoldering Jin. When I leave the expedition zone, put the top card of your deck in your mana zone as an exhausted mana orb. And when play from reserve, if you have 6 or more mana orbs, target character in play or in reserve gains 2 boost, you can include him. So those were the decks. Let's go ahead and move on to the end game. So is this Sigis corrected? Yeah. This is Sigis post-patch. Just goes all out. Trying to push on one side, but that was actually a very good way to do it. Because that even he can go to the other side or just a single advance and still leaves the token there. So it's going to be a 1/1 where it is pretty easy for Chile to just bring it back and be on top. Right now, Tobis is 1 expedition ahead. Goes ahead and goes all out on the companion. Plays a unique that's going to be 3/5/5 with a resupply. Most likely, yeah, no more plays from Chile. So Tobis has his side protected right now with the Parliament of Ashes and has a very good card in there in reserve to keep boosting his characters. Nothing to sabotage right now. Decides to get rid of the hunger. Most likely he's going to start with the Haven and then use the unique. Yeah, there we go. The Haven and wait to try to use the unique. There we go. So he's just going to play it on the other side. Going to lose fleeting and do the resupply. Also gain the boost right there. The Sandman going to control the Legate in order to try to sabotage the unique. He's going to sacrifice a movement in order to sabotage. So right now Tobis is 2 expeditions ahead. Chile risking it a lot with that play. He can try to bring it back now. Decides to get rid of that auto renewing unique. I think right now Tobis is going to sabotage, most likely. Okay, so now that the unique came out, nope, he just plays Priya on the other side. We got the sabotage. Does this allow? Oh no, because it allowed. Okay, yeah, it allows for tokens to be, it plays tokens on the companion side. There we go. So Toby's still keeping his 2 expedition advantage with, I'd rather say, a card advantage, because he is, it's kind of the same. No, there we go. So he does have the card advantage. He has not ramped at all. It has been pure aggro, but he is moving on ahead with that. Let's just go ahead and check. Yeah, the audio, the mic, is it good? Yeah, it's good. Now he's going to sabotage most likely the unique. There we go. Yeah, not allowing him to keep spamming those tokens. The Kakoba Legion Commander, he goes ahead and comes with 1. He's not going to block quite yet. And then, okay, so he's going to draw 2 cards. Is it 1 card or 2 cards? 2 cards. He should have drawn 2 cards. But the resupplies from Toby's keep on coming. Especially with the Bria and the Haven. There we go. Toby's gets rid of a card. Both players mana up. There we go. The Legion the Kakoba Legion Commander once again reveals the Tiny Djinn and draws a card because of that. The Aegis Templar for 1. Once again, pushing on the hero side. The tokens keep on coming, but even if he is able to... I think it's actually... Yeah, I think that is the obviously game. He is able to move... Toby's is able to move on both sides because there was not enough strength implant. On Chile's side, he makes only 1 move, and actually Toby's wins with an 8 move. That means that he overtook his token on the other side. So this was indeed a decisive victory for Toby's. There we go. So now that we are on step 5, go ahead and push it all the way over here. Let's see how many games there are. So this is up to 50, 60. Oh, sorry. This is up to 65. So from table 2 to table 65. The first table we're gonna watch is table 11, so we need to pull all the way up again. That's why I hate this thing. It was easier just to scroll, but okay. That's what BGA decided. This is a finished game. So we're going to be looking at the winner's side. Before I do that, it was expected for Elwiwi to win with a 81% chance. So the statistics were not defeated this time, to call it something. So we know is a French player. I have not heard of Alligators 427, so not sure where he is from. Okay, so both players are from France. Let's go ahead and check Alligator's deck out. This is a soul deck. It does have hungers, the wingsuit jumper. You may rush if you do draw a card, otherwise resupply. You may immediately pass when played from anywhere. If you control a fleeting character, up to 2 target characters each gain 1 boost. And detain, I gain anchored when played from anywhere. If you control a fleeting character, create an airlet token in your landmarks. There we go. This is Alligator's deck. Pretty basic soul, trying to rush as much as it can. Then we got Elwiwi. So Elwiwi is using was Elwiwi, yeah, one of the most famous fan players. Indeed, he is the Lyra Airless. If there's a spell in your reserve, draw a card, otherwise resupply. You may put a card from your hand in reserve if you do sabotage. So not only can you put a spell down in order to draw a card, but also you can sabotage, so you can increase your number of resources and attack the number of resources of your opponent. And then we got to Hydracenas. At noon, draw a card. When a card leaves your reserve during the afternoon, I gain 1 boost. It comes with a 1/5/5, so it's not a blank 0/0/0. Then we got a second Hydrocina. This one is at noon. You may discard a card from your reserve. If you do, roll a die. On a 4+, draw a card. On a 1, 2, 3, resupply. And when a card leaves your reserve during the afternoon, draw a card. So this one doesn't boost itself, but it is eternal, and you can keep getting lots of cards because every time a card leaves your reserve, you'll be able to draw a card. So that was El Wiwis. Let's go ahead and check the game to the end. So 3 cards taken away. Okay, pushing to keep his Hydrocina up. A very good first turn. Forcing the water. Forcing his opponent to go to the other side. There we go. Passes first as well, so denies a token of the Halua. Not the card you want to see in your reserve at this stage of the match. Okay, so he shows the Priya. Use 2 mana. Yeah, going to draw and resupply. Did not resupply. I don't think he hurt him that much this turn. Just uses the Will-O-Wisp once again. But this time, Alligator is able to put a token in, so it's still a 1/1, but Alligator is able to put a token in order to summon as fast as he can his Aloha companion. Okay, card mana. There we go. Not what you want to see in your reserve unless you're going to keep cycling your Lyra, what's the name? Incasters. So puts the other side to sleep. Still got 1 mana left. Tengu gets rid of the Twinkle Twinkle in order to put the other card to sleep. So he is able to move forward. Halua almost came out. So right there before it comes out. So the Incaster most likely going to come down. He's probably going to take other Incaster out? No, he takes a Twinkle Twinkle and gets rid of the spells that are a little bit expensive from the reserve. There we go. 6 mana each. First turn 4. Okay, so he's going to just rush in order to get with a Priya. So this is a very tough position for a Wee. So a Wee just draws. Initially denies the 2 boosts. He denies once again. So when a card leaves your reserve during turn, he gains 1 boost. So this one is boosted, of course. And the 2 cards that left was the Hatter and the Incaster. So that's why he did it just like that, in order to keep the Hydrocina boosted. Right now they are tied again, but the Hydrocina is already out, and that is a tough card to beat, especially because the removals that right now most Bravos depend on is the Duel of Grit, so that means that it needs a 7 down. Mana Eruption in order to get rid of the Hydrocina, obviously. Going to ramp down to get rid of the Hydrocina. But still, with 2 mana left, he's just able to move on both. Elwiwi is able to move on both sides. And going to get the Twinkle Twinkle back. So it has 1 more use. Elwiwi 2 expeditions ahead. There we go. The Twinkle Twinkle goes back to hand. Duel of Grit from Elwiwi as well. Interesting. So it's going to try to push on the hero. Ooh, once again trying with that Priya, just puts it to sleep. The one left is going to be an Arcolano Milk. With the Incaster, he's able to move once again. No, it's blocked. It's blocked because if Halua actually comes out, and the Duel of Grid, because it still had some mana left, is able to block the Halua. And with that one, not sure why he played the Martingale. I'm guessing for something for next turn. Alligator does get a Aerolith out, but let's see if that actually helps him at all. 8 against 9 mana, so technically Elwiwi has, what is this? Oh, special magical training. There we go. I hadn't seen it in quite a while. Just gives 3 boosts to the Hatter. Not quite enough. Once again, going to put a character to sleep on the other side. 3 mana left, and there we go. He knows he has nothing left. Halua comes out. With your Colano is not. Why is it not giant? Oh, because yeah, he is giant, but the Haven Warrior has been put to sleep, so that is enough for Elwiwi to take the game. Even with a giant Halua, it was not enough to help him on both sides, and just like that, he takes the win. There we go. Congratulations, Elwiwi. Now let's move on to table 49. Table 49. Table 49. Let's see first if it's a finished table. There we go. Lincoln-born versus Scipio 51. It is a finished table. It was 51% called for Lincoln-born to win against Scipio, so it was a very tight match in elo terms. So we're gonna have Lincoln-born's point of view over here. We're gonna have his deck over here, and we're gonna have Scipio's deck over here. There we go. So Scipio, let's go ahead and check it out. From France against Lynchborn from Germany. Okay, there we go. A Kako boost. If you when play from anywhere, if you control 3 or more characters, target character in your other expedition, the one I'm not in, gains boost. When play from anywhere, up to 1 character with hand cost 3 or less other than me, so it gives it to someone else, gains anchored. Second, Kekoba Legion Commander, if you control 2 or more plants other than me, I gain 2 boosts. Target character other than me gains fleeting, anchored, or asleep, so this also helps with the festival. We don't see the festival, but this could help with the festival. And finally, if you control 3 or more boosted characters, up to 2 target characters each gain 2 boosts. Also, play from anywhere gives anchored out. Okay, so it looks very interesting. Let's go ahead and see how Lynchborn played this one out. Buddha Sky Bjorn. We have the Tanuki. When play from reserve, you may discard a card from your reserve if you do sabotage, and when play from anywhere, you may pay 1 if you do resupply. The Haven Bouncer. When play from anywhere, sabotage. When play from reserve, if you control 1 or more landmarks, resupply. And the support ability, the next character you play from your hand this turn activates his reserve abilities as if it was played from the reserve. And last but not least, the Medusa. When played from reserve, you may send target character to reserve if you do create an Airlet token in its controller's landmarks. And when I go to the reserve from the expedition zone, if you are the first player, sabotage. There we go. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yes, sabotage at dusk when leaves the expedition zone. So that would be at night. And so let's go ahead and check the match out. So let's go to the end game. No. There we go. So 3 mana each. Skipping the hunger from the start. A kind of a risky move, but I think he can pull it off. There we go. Trying to move on both sides. Uses the Ogun on the companion side, so he just needs to pull the trigger with the Fire Rabbit in order to block him completely for it to be a 1/1. And since the Spindle has already got 2 boosts on it, that means that the Spindle will also give a resupply. Or is it draw 4? Resupply. There we go. Okay, not quite blocked by Buddha, but almost there. The Haven Warrior just gives more boost to the Spindle. Normal play from Lynchborn. Finally, the Spindle leaves the field. It is a tight game right now. They are doing very good plays. Most likely the Mana Eruption going to go away. It's a little bit too early to use it. Muna Caregiver for 1. Of course, the second boost from from Teja. Going to reveal the Tiny Djinn in order to draw another card. Draws the unique that can sabotage. Not able to play the resupply right now. But does this sabotage or this what? No, this was not the one with resupply. There we go. So the Kakoba is able to boost up the Spindle in order to have it do a resupply and anchors the other Muna. Not sure if that was the most intelligent thing to do because you actually needed your Muna in order to re-anchor the Spindle unless you want to lose it. But I think this is the second Spindle he has played. Let me go ahead and check. Is this the second? No, this is the first. Okay, so not too bad. Blocking right now, very good. Going to do of course, the sabotage on the Kakoba. So he just goes ahead and plays the other one. The other side wins 2 boosts. Oh, 2 characters win 2 boosts. Yeah, up to 2 characters each gain 2 boosts. Nothing else from each player. Once again, we're gonna have the 1/1, but it is Scipio starting to build what he wants to do. He's going to lose 1 card right now. Not sure how Lynchborn is going to turn it around, but let's go ahead and see. Even deciding to get rid of the Parliament of Ashes. Okay, so this is a little bit dangerous from Lynchborn. Goes all out with the anchored on the Louis Vera. The sabotage himself, going to get rid of the other unique. Lost in the Woods in order to get rid of that unique. There we go. No more play from Scipio. And Lynchborn this time decides to give it all out with his own control. Ramping down. He is at 6, but he's still able to push 1/1. So still in a stalemate position, to put it bluntly. There we go. So mana each. There we go. Mana each. Kind of you're already at the point where you kind of don't want to put mana. Okay, that's sabotage right away. The other Spindle Harvesters, Scipio has been using his Spindle Harvesters all day long. Lost in the Woods in order to get rid, of course, of the... Ooh, decides not to get rid of the Tiny Djinn. Instead, to get rid of the Haven Warrior. So, like I said, this was going to be a close match. It is indeed a close match. They are touching right now on the middle of the field. I think this is the point where you don't put mana, Scipio. He decides not to. Lynchborn does decide to put mana up. A Muna Caregiver on the companion side. Blocked right away with the... with the Haven Warrior. And just like that, Lynchborn takes the game. There were no more cards from Scipio. He played it all out on just one side. And with that Tengu, in the right moment, he was able to block and still had enough mana to push something on the other side. And just like that, Lynchborn takes the game. Give me a second. I need to put my headphones to charge, and I forgot to do it before starting the stream. Very professional of me. uh, Audio, the music is still going on from what I can see. So everything should be fine. There we go. So let's go ahead. Those were two matches. So since I lost about 30 minutes, I wanted to do 4 matches of each round. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to do it. So let's go ahead and move right away to table number 2. This is Culver against What Padawan. So this is going to be it was expected for Culver to win with a 60%, so that has been respected. And Padawan had obviously the 40% chance. We're gonna be looking at Culver's point of view. Then let's go ahead and check out Culver's deck. I know Culver is from, I was gonna say France, but I think he is from the Netherlands. And Boat also as well. Yeah, they're both from Netherlands. There we go. No, sorry, Belgium. Netherlands. No, they're both from Belgium. So that was my bad. Let's go ahead and check Padawan's deck out first. This is the full series. So once again, thank you, Padawan, for naming your deck so that you don't make the mistake of using different decks throughout the tournament. The Helpful Pelican. At dusk, up to one target character gains fleeting. Nothing major about this. This support ability, target character you control with hand costs 4 or less gains a sleep and is you control. So this is to enable, trying to enable, you would think this is trying to enable the festival, but he doesn't use it. The Ugly Duckling, up to one target character gains fleeting, and the support ability, target expedition ascends. And the Mowgli, you may put a card from your hand in reserve if you do draw a card with a 401. And the support ability, you can anchor a character with hand cost 3 or less. There we go. So that was Padawan's deck. Now, let's go ahead and check Culver's deck out. This is Rin 2.0, making reference most likely to the fact that he had to change it post-patch. So that's why it's the 2.0. This is the Isun Boshi. When play from anywhere, up to one target character gains a sleep, you may have it gain 2 boosts. And the support ability, the next card you play this turn gains 1 boost. Forest Nymph. At dusk, if I'm facing an expedition in plant, draw a card. Otherwise, each player draws a card. So kind of you always want to use her as soon as you get there. This card will most likely get lots of uses with Turun, because this would be considered a gift, and Turun could actually draw 2 cards if not played in a forest, like facing a forest. And Eru, Emissary of the Wild, you may have target character facing me gain anchored when play from hand. If you do, target token character defects, so you take it away. When I leave the expedition zone, if I was fleeting, create a woolly back 1/1/1 animal token in target expedition. And you may exhaust target card in reserve. That is the support ability. There we go. So let's go ahead and check out this game. Let's go all the way to the end game. Did I change it? Yes, I did. So this is a Muna, even a Rin duel at that. Gets rid of one of his uniques. Ooh, Culver doesn't think he'll be needing it in the short while, so just discards it right away. Ecolor for Kuko, one of the other extremely good cards that have come from this set. Spindle to the reserve, and Muna Caregiver to the reserve as well. No, this is the Muna Druid, sorry. That is because both move due to forest, which means that they both need to draw and put a card down. So they need to be very careful not to overcharge the reserve because of the advancements they may have. To give the character anchored before leaving, and the Aloe Vera also gets anchored. The Subduende is going to take the one boost and give it to his own Spindler in order to draw a card. Doesn't need to push for anything else. That means that because he moved due to forest, he is going to both actually draw a card and then have to put one card down. There we go. So the Resentful Robin is put into mana. The other side. No, he did. Yeah, decides to pull the Gargle, but ascends the Hero Expedition. The Hero Expedition is ascended as well by Padawan, so kind of a mirror match in many senses. It is an A. They're both drawn, and it is only Culver that's moving forward today. Even though Padawan was able to at least anchor one more card. That means that none of them are moving due to forest. There will be no more cards drawn today. Padawan does however have a Aloe Vera on the table that will resupply, so kind of have an additional card. It even is a Jack Frost, but not sure the Jack Frost has, this Jack Frost only activates from hand. So kind of doesn't care if it's wasted right now, most likely. There we go. The Resentful Robin is going to gain the boost, but with the Duckling, he's not only going to get a boost, but also ascend. So that means that we have a 1-for-1 once again. Culver keeping up one expedition ahead. Draw a card and put a card down. Same goes for Culver. Ooh, it was, luckily for him, it was a Copelia, so doesn't lose a card. And the Copelia answer from Culver as well. So this is a mirror match in more than one sense. It is Padawan that's going to lose a card. Decides to get rid of the Aloe Vera right now. And the Culver advantage can be felt. There we go. So Culver just doing an after you with a boost and ascending expedition. The Jack Frost right there just to try and see what they'll try to force. Goes up to 6, puts a card down. In the other expedition, I'm guessing, no, it was a drawing one. And this case, the Lyra Contortionist is able to give him still a move forward. He is going to move because of force, which means that he's going to draw a card and put a card down. Puts down the Contortionist that doesn't use reserve space. The Resentful Robin does, so this means that he's going to be able. He has to get rid of 2 cards, gets rid of both Resentful Robins. Most likely going to get rid of Beauty Sleep. No, decides to get rid of a Harvester. Okay, he's going to push for stats most likely. There we go, the Persephone on the companion side. The common one, so that means that it only adds forest or would add forest. There we go, the Persephone once again. Now the Mowgli is played in order for Padawan to draw a card. Now he just puts the Mowgli to sleep. The Muna Caregiver on the companion side once again just uses his mana to put it to sleep. And the Contortionist is able to give him the win by moving forward on both sides. And just like that, those Beauty Sleeps did magic for Culver, allowing him to take the game. Both cards are going down. One can be played on either side. It doesn't matter because it has already been decided. And the Contortionist doesn't use space, so there's no problem over there. One card going to be removed. And with that, we see the Culver's victory on table number 2. This was step 6. Yeah, that was step 6. No, what did we just see? It was supposed to be 2, 3, 4, 5. It was supposed to be Exalts against. Okay, I jumped the gun. So we're gonna watch Exalts Argon against Culver. This table was abandoned, so we're not going to watch that one. And we kind of jumped the gun, but it came out better in the end. Let's go now to number 53. That's why I hate this new system. Okay, so 53, that will be me against the DJJ on table 53. There we go. This table was abandoned, so unfortunately, I am not going to be featuring one of my matches. Let's go now to table number 13. Table number 13. There we go. So this is Elton against Cackle 78. It was expected for Cackle actually to win. Elton only had a 35% chance based on ELO. Only on ELO. ELO is the most accurate way to measure skill. Yes. Has its flaws? Of course it does. So how we're gonna see Elson's point of view over here. Then we're gonna check his deck over here. And we're gonna check Cackle's deck over here. Man. There we go. So it's both a duel between French players. Let's first go ahead and check Cackle. This is a Trace Classic. Let's see if they shouldn't have the cards that were removed. Indeed, it doesn't. So let's go ahead and check the uniques. The Anansi. When played from reserve, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, I gain 1 boost for each card in your reserve. And the support ability, the next card you play this afternoon costs 1 less. The Paju Axiom Pilot. Sorry. Characters you control other than me have top 1. When played from reserve, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, create a brass buck 2/2/2 in your hero expedition. And the support ability, create an airlet token in your landmarks. Finally, the Merlin, Scout 4. When played from hand, if you have 2 or more cards in reserve, you may discard target character in play or in reserve. So just a plain simple off you go. But in your reserve, you may discard in play or in reserve, but an off you go with no limit. And this is discard. It is not sent to reserve. So kind of more like a Vanishing Gate, but only for characters. At dusk, if I'm fleeting, you may discard target permanent. Okay, so extremely good to be used. Cost 7 if you include the scout and playing from reserve, because it asks for fleeting. So in order to remove a permanent, you would need to have 7 mana. Or Arcolano Milk, but I don't see Arcolano Milk anywhere. On the other side, we have Elson. Elson is playing with a Kakariko Tur using Cody and Puff. The Killing Elemental. When played from hand, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. There is the support ability. You may put a card from your hand in reserve if you do resupply. The Sneezer Shroom. You may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, I gain Anchor. And when played from reserve, if up to 1 target card gains fleeting, it does have the festival, so it could be a festival win. And the second Sneezer Shroom, I gain Anchor. You may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, each player draws a card. There we go. So, kind of giving support to itself, trying to play the Lyra Festivals, using the common one most likely as a last-ditch effort, or perhaps to, if you get it early, try to bait the removals for the permanents. So let's go ahead and move on to the end game. There you go, 39 card decks for each. And off we go. most likely going to be a Daughter of Yggdrasil from Elson. Draws one card, and the Daughter of Yggdrasil, no, decides to play it a little bit safer. No more plays from Elson, no more plays from Cackle either. That was extremely lucky, so each one gets a 1/1. And Elson actually got, I know why he did it that way. Now he's going to anchor the Daughter of Yggdrasil, and he even gets another Daughter of Yggdrasil. Just needs one, going to anchor that one as well. And if Cackle tries anything funny, he can just put it to sleep. There we go. So going to play it. Oh, goes for the festival right away. Doesn't keep it close to his chest. Interesting. Just going all out. And move double advance from Cackle. But Elson has revealed his main strategy, that is trying to win with the festival. Still missing a way to get fleeting. Yeah. There we go. So the Paju is going to block the counting sheep. Is it going to be an early? We do have the a cappella training in order to give the fleeting, and that's it. So it's going to give fleeting to any character he wants, and it's going to give the anchor to another sheep. And just like that, Elson wins with a festival on day 3. That was pretty well played. He got the cards that he needed. Even though he had his festival out from last turn, he was waiting for the perfect cards, and they did come on the right time for him to take the game. Even losing 2 expeditions, he was able to move forward. So with that, we finished off another game. That was table 13. Let's go now to table 55. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going. This is the last one of round 7 or 6. Sorry, of round 6, and then we're gonna watch the last 3 ones from round 8. No, it was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The last 3 ones from round 7, and we're gonna call it a day with that. So it is number 55 from this one. 55, 55, 50, 55, 55, 55, 50, 55, 50, 50, 55. There we go. So this is Fernell, M. Knight. Ooh, let's hope that. Ooh, don't tell me. Don't tell me that I messed up. Oh, yes, I did. I did pretty bad. Okay, so let's have 7 over here, so that's easier to know. No, actually, we're number 6, and it was table 55. So let's go ahead and move all the way down to 55 once again, because I didn't push the control key, rather the Windows key, so it did open it again. There we go. So it was expected for Pharrell Pharrell to win with a 59% chance, so the statistic was not defeated this time. Now, let's go ahead and check his deck out here, and let's go ahead and check Happing's deck over here. So this is a Korean player, South Korean player at Happing against Pharrell from France. Let's go ahead and check his deck. So this is the Soul with 2 Hungers and the Tengu. 1 play from anywhere, you may rush. If you do my Expedition Ascends, 1 play from reserve, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, target card gains 2 boosts and fleeting. A second Tengu, this one has rush from hand. If you do my Expedition Ascends, and it's 1 play from anywhere. If I am the only character in my expedition, I gain 2 boosts. And the Beowulf, you may immediately play a character with base cost 3 or less for free. That is 1 play from anywhere, and 1 play from reserve. If you have less cards in hand than target opponent, target character in play or in reserve gains 1 boost. There we go. Pretty interesting uniques that he's taking right here. Let's go ahead and see how it played out. We know he lost, but let's see how close the match was. And Pharrell, on the other hand, is using a Bazira. So this is the Axiom Salvager. When play from anywhere, you may put a card from your hand in reserve if you do resupply. When play from reserve, if you control 2 or more boosted characters, the next card you play this afternoon costs 1 less. Second Axiom Salvager, you may put a card from your hand in reserve if you do resupply. And you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, I gain 1 boost. So kind of a 3/3/3 for 2. Put in 2 cards on reserve, from what I understand. The Haven Trainee. Just abilities. Oh, sorry. The support ability. Sorry. When played from reserve, you may discard a card from your reserve. If you do, target character gains 2 boosts. And when I leave the expedition zone, if I have 2 or more boosts, draw a card. There we go. Now, let's move on. Oh, sorry, not here. Let's go ahead and move on to the end game. Oh, sorry. There we go. Okay. So, just pushing the wing to jumper. Blocked right away by the Haven Guardian. It's a Haven Guardian, right? Warrior, sorry. The Haven Warrior. He can now rush, but doesn't have now. He has something to rush with. So yeah, the physical training needs to go away. He can rush, or he could use... Yeah, he's going to rush. On the other side, okay, just to try and push forward, because it was pretty obvious that he was not going to be able to win on both sides. He rushed... Oh, to draw a card. There we go. Yeah, so the most logical sense, just to try to push on both sides to win at least one. Still having 1 expedition ahead, but the card advantage is on Pharrell's sides as well. As okay, so he decided to get rid of one of the Kukos. Justin after you. There we go. A stronger after you, getting a 4 on the other side. Blocked right now with the Mighty Jin. And Happing actually places himself 2 expeditions ahead, but has not been able to put 1 token out for Saul at all. But Pharrell is able to ramp up, so that is good for him. It is 4 against 5, so we're in equal conditions. Oh, one more. No, yeah, we're in equal conditions. So the Arcolano Milk plays the Kuko on the other side. Nothing to exhaust or sabotage. So yeah, nothing to sabotage. He just gives the Kuko another boost. Nothing more for his side. He just plays the Talarian to give it a 3 to him and give a 3 to the Kuko on the other. No, he just moves forward on both sides. I would have sworn he was going to try to give it to the Kuko, and just like that, Pharrell brings it back. We are in a tied game again, with the Kuko being a big threat right there. Still not in hunger range. Even Happing has not actually been able to ramp up at all. Puts a card down, double resupply with that. Goes up to 3, so moving forward. Another resupply with that. Almost just what you wanted to see, so it moves up to 3. Going to give the 4, most likely no. Going to 7 right now. 8 because of, yeah, the Halua not yet coming out. So it is still a 1-for-1. Both move on the same side. Going to be able to get an Aerolid right now. Going to get rid of the Mana Eruption. No, gets rid of the Kuko to Mana. There we go. So it's a double ramp right now. Jewel of Grit is discarded. Most likely going to get the Eltroon. No, the Eltroon is from. Oh yeah, he could get. Okay, so we have the giant hunger because of the Arcolano milk. Gets rid of absolutely everything, but it is only a 9. So the Eltroon just going to go to the other side with a 6. The Eltroon is going to rush in order to get to 7. Not enough. Gets the Halua out. And now it is going to be enough. Going to give that a 9. Going to turn it to a 10. And with that, even after a hunger, he's able to still move forward. Pharrell basically threw everything he had on the wall. Most likely going to go to mana. No, decides to get one more card and gets rid of the Chiron because the hunger just left the building. Good situation for Pharrell right now. Because of the Mighty Jin at 3 cost, Beowulf on the companion side and is able to play the Wings of Jumper for 0. The unique that we see right there, almost blocking. Halua still not giant. The Altron teammate that's going to be able to rush. So he's going to rush with the physical training in order to move on both sides, blocking. 1 mana left, going to put it on the other side just because he had already won. And just like that, Pharrell, taking advantage of the rush with the physical training, is able to take out the game even against some difficult odds. We see how he finally takes the game, and just like that, he moves forward. So now let's go ahead and push here for round 8. This 7, sorry. It is 7, right? Let's go all the way up. And I need to keep yeah, there we go. So it is step 7 indeed. We already saw the Culver Padawan, Argon, and Tobias. We're gonna leave it if we have enough time. So now let's move on to table 15 right now. There we go. So table 15 is Iconus against Rosebud. It was not an abandoned table. It was expected for Iconus to win the game with a 63% chance, and it was indeed what happened. On the other hand, we have Rosebud. So first we're going to have here Iconus deck, and now we're going to have Rosebud deck over here. There we go. Another from South Korea. Rosebud, another player from South Korea, like I said. This is the reserve version 4.0. Reserve, only twice. So reserve version 4 with a Trace and Rossum. The Tinkerbell. When played from reserve, you may put a card from your hand in reserve if you do Sabotage. The Haven Bouncer. When I go to the reserve from the Expedition Zone, Sabotage. When played from reserve, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If it's a permanent, draw a card. So not the Anansi, what's the name of? Not Copelia, not Anansi. Ada. The ability of the Ada Lovelach. And the Bravos Vanguard the rest of the abilities. Yeah, that's it. The Bravos Vanguard. When a card leaves your reserve during the afternoon, you may have target character other than me lose fleeting. And when I leave the expedition zone, draw a card. So a very, very good Vanguard right there. On the other hand, we have Iconus. Iconus has the Bazira with 1 hunger, only 1. Let's go ahead and see the Isunboshi. When played from anywhere, you may discard a card from your reserve. If you do resupply, when played from hand, if you control 1 or more landmarks, draw a card. Not too bad. Kind of don't want to use it as an opener, but if you have nothing else. Suha, Coorgan Operative. When I leave the expedition zone, Sabotage. When you pass first, if you control a character in each of the expeditions, you may have target character other than me gain 1 boost. And when played from hand, you may create an airlet token in target player's landmarks. And finally, the Axiom Salvager. When played from anywhere, resupply. When played from reserve, if you control 2 or more boosted characters, up to 2 target characters each gain 2 boosts. There we go. Now, finally for the match. Yeah, this is the match. So let's go to end of game. There we go. So, to Isunbashi. So it's most likely going to be an opener with the Haven frozen delivery. Yeah, not what you want to see in the frozen delivery, but yeah, there we go. The what I thought was the most likely candidate to be an opener, and just going to use the Isunbashi on the other side. There we go. So a 1-for-1. There we go. So 1 token up for the trace player. Gets rid of the helping hand. Mana up from Rosebud as well. The Talarian right away going to go all the way to 5. So almost ensuring a movement on that side. I would have actually played her on the other side so that I could have a chance with the Isunbashi to at least try to push on water. But in this case, Iconus decides just to stick with it, what he knows. All out on one side. The time to push will be his strategy. It seems to be that his turn to push will be further on. There we go. So will we see the we see a second killing element, third killing elemental on the reserve. Not what you want to see. You want to have those cards. Of course, it's not that bad, but you actually want to see those cards on hand in order to get more tokens. Or just use them on mana if you already are at 5. But at least he's able to get something in. The Tinkerbell, sorry, for 2. Pushing 1-for-1 once again. No, it's a double advance from Iconus. So this is the time that he actually decided to push forward in order to gain an advantage right now. Most likely the Killing Elemental is going to be the one leaving, because the Gibble as a 6 for right now is most likely going to be the play from Rosebud. Just pushing all on one side. Not too, but first there is the Aklu that's going to block both cards from Rosebud. That means that we are not going to be seeing the Gibble at all. Draws a Haven that's going to give us a resupply, so it can be stopped, but not on both sides. And just for good measure, decides to give another token to that occlude in order to exhaust another card. So it's going to be a 1-for-1. But remember, Iconus already has 2 expeditions ahead, so that means that he keeps his advantage and doesn't overcharge his reserve like Rosebud just did. There we go. Armor Jammer to get rid right away of that. The Kluk doesn't want to deal with that anymore, but the colorful Kuko is going to give a little bit of pressure right there. He could go for the Gibble. No, decides to go for the Anansi to gain 2 boosts on the other side. A second Haven. This is going to activate the Sabotage the Ozma. Also going on the side of the Kuko, because right now they are tied, but he's able to give it 1 more boost, so he's actually winning this time. And Iconus decides to tie it once again, pushing with the Occlude on the Chiron on the other side. Once again, a 1-for-1, but Rosebud is almost Rosebud, yeah. The colorful Kuko is going to be a nightmare to deal with from the side of Rosebud. And Iconus even deploys up to the 8 mana. puts it at 5. Still not using his ability because he can push on both sides to increase a lot. So I think this is obviously the day that Iconus wins. He's going to put a token in order to get rid of the unique, but that is not what Iconus was aiming for. He just goes all out on the Kuko, going to give it one more boost. No, I'm going to give it on the other side. The Salvager that goes to 6, and the Altrun. He just doesn't want to risk it going all on one side. With the colorful Kuko, he even gains one more boost. Rosebud knows it's over, and just like that, Iconus takes the game. He could have pushed on the other side with 3 more tokens, or on the very same side with at least 3 more tokens as well, but decides just to push with characters just in case something weird goes on. I think he had not seen the 3 uniques yet. Yeah, he had only seen 2. So he had only seen 1. It was himself that revealed the unique, so he didn't want to deal with any crazy shenanigans from the unique, so he just went ahead and ended the game right there and then. Let's go now to number 44. Table 44, please. There we go. Sorry. This is Nico Kus against Ben Kaizen. Let's hope that this was not abandoned. It was abandoned, unfortunately, so that voids the repetition. Let's go to 36. So just a tad above. There we go. So this is Sephira versus the World Gaze. Was it abandoned? It was abandoned, unfortunately. So moving on to the next one. Let's go to 46. Let's hope this one was not abandoned. Formax against Mikkel 57. It was not abandoned. Formax was the one called to win. Not heavy LO users, but still, he was called to win with a 70% chance of winning. Before we move on, I need to check something out real quick. I'm getting stressed out by those 2 notifications that I have a game pending, especially because I know I could have won one of the games that is waiting for me, but I decided to play dumb. And yeah, go ahead and pass. And indeed, it was one of the games that I was dreading. I was supposed to have won this game, so let's go ahead and try. Let's go ahead and try to get something to help me win. Not this one. Certainly not that one. And I think I'm going to lose and win a game that I had already won. That's my life. There we go. Okay, so Formax against Mikkel. So we're gonna want, this is going to be his point of view, this is going to be his deck, and this is going to be Mikkel's deck. And if I'm not mistaken, Mikkel is from Germany. No, they're both French players. So Formax and Mikkel are both from France. Let's go ahead and check Mikkel's deck out first. This is the Soul Rush test. So, 2 Hungers, the Junior Chef, and the Aha. So, if your reserve is, when played from hand, if your reserve is empty, you may discard target permanent. And the second Aha, that was the Junior Chef, and the support ability, when you play another character, I gain 1 boost up to a max of 3. The Aha, at dusk, each player puts the top card of their deck in their mana zone, and if you control 1 or more landmarks, you may discard target character. And finally, the Tane, up to 1 target character gains fleeting. Sorry, that is a support ability. He gains anchored, period, when played from anywhere. There we go. Let's go ahead and check now Formax. Formax is playing a Kojo deck, so this is a Bravos Duel. We have the three little pigs. If you, when play from reserve, if you control one or more landmarks, you may discard target permanent with have cost 3 or less. The Tengu, you may rush if you do my expedition ascents. When you pass first, you may discard target permanent with have cost 3 or less. So both, this one discards a character, this one discards a permanent. Then we have the heiress. If my expedition would move forward during dusk, roll a die. On a 4+, it moves forward one more region instead. It doesn't say it moves two. So if you have, for example, the slave and heiress, that would be a 3 space movement with just one roll, depending on the roll of die. And if you are the first player, when play from reserve, you're the first player, I gain 2 boosts, otherwise I gain only 1. So I kind of want to play her when you're the first player, and I don't see the hair, so no switching the first player from this Gojo. There we go. Now let's go to end of game. There we go. The hunger is going away. So Formax, I think he only had 1 hunger, so I think the hunger is actually going away from this game. And Mikko had nothing, it seems, just passes, gets 1 token in, and that's it. Next turn might be a setup turn for Formax using his Parliament of Ashes. And the Worgen, no, actually decides to get rid of the Parliament of Ashes. So the Worgen, no, decides to block all out on the hero side. Going to rush with the Harpooner. Going to use the Talarian in order to rush. Still 1 expedition behind only, because Formax was not able to take full advantage of that. Uses the Mighty Jin to draw rather than ramping up. I think draw is in this case much more important than ramping, especially at the beginning. The Ultron teammate is played on the hero side with the rush on the companion side in order to get 1 boost. Both actually get a boost because of the ability of the Ultron and the Talarian Skater. Second token in is able to block it. What I like to call, he boxed him in. He could have moved forward due to water, but unfortunately it was not in the cards. Going to get rid of the Isenbushi. No! Don't think he will have the chance to get rid of the Isenbushi. The Fire Rabbit goes away. The Isenbushi needs to be played on the companion side. There we go. Now we're going to see the Sabotage, the Altroon, going to get the token, the boost. Oh, decides to rush with the Tengu. So the Tengu rushes with the Kaori intervention. That means that none are basically going to be able to touch. Goes out for the 3 on the hero side. Naturally. Why did he go up to 3? Oh, because he discarded the Isenboshi, right? So it is a double advance from Formax, just a single advance from Milk. And even though it looked like he could do no harm, how... Oh, he played the... Was he able to play it? How did the... Okay, not sure what happened right there. I guess I need to pay closer attention. Okay, so we have the rare one. Do you have it from anywhere? No, it is from hand only. The Super Rush with the Talarian once again. Goes up to 3, goes up to 4 because of his ability. And with the Halua coming out, this Talarian is going to be easily going to be blocking right now. Moves on to 5 by giving a boost on the other side. So right now Formax is on And something is blocking the game right now. Let me see if I can push it forward. No, it blocked itself. Yeah, it is blocked right now. So something broke on the game. Now I can go ahead and check last day. So it was in the expedition. Let me go ahead and check it. No, I can't. It's simply frozen. Yeah, it simply went away. So unfortunately, guys, we're not going to be able to see the end of the game. We know that Pharmax won, but the replay broke itself somewhere along the way and we were not able to see it any further. So let's have table number 3. No, the last one. Well, let's see what is table number 3, or if we go for table number 1. So table number 3 is Aretsi against Solork, but I am actually curious to see whoever was able to defeat Tobis, because Tobis was able to keep his place on the top table 2 rounds, and then he lost to Argon, Exalt's Argon. So I am very curious to see this match right here, even though we have already seen Tobis' deck. So that's why we're only going to be checking Argon's point of view right here, and going to be checking Argon's deck as well, because we have already seen Tobi's deck. So this is Siege 26. Ozma, at dusk, if you control a token, draw a card. When another non-token character joins your expedition, up to 1 target character gains fleeting. The Gian Overseer, if you control 3 or more characters, draw a card. For the Sigismund, this is very easy to do. Or the Spy, you may put a card from your hand in reserve if you do Sabotage. When played from hand, if you control a token, resupply. When played from hand, if you control a token, create a token in the target expedition. For 4 costs, this basically does everything that any Sigis player would like to have. And those are the 3 uniques. So now let's go ahead and see how well they played along with Exalt's Argon deck. So this is a US player against an Italian player. Let's go to the end game. End of game, sorry. There we go, 39 cards each. First play with the corrected Sigismund. Not able to fully block, but he had mana on the other side and gives a character fleeting. So only 1 use from the Leviathan Spotter, double advance from Argon, single advance from Tobis. And not a typical position for the new Sigismund, being ahead on both, being able to be ahead on a Bravos deck. But of course, right now we have the Buddha, the Harpooner, that's most likely a Jumping Frog. Okay, so he is going to get rid of that unique. He can right now just push on the hero side. He's blocked. Going to pull the trigger on that Sandman in order to block, move ahead once again, keep that 1 advantage, and have the Trooper right there, extra powered. Or is this recruit? The Trooper, there we go. The Tiny Jail, okay, not too bad. Of course that he wants to use that 4 mana with the Ugly Duckling. So puts a card down in reserve in order to sabotage, and gets a token in and gets a resupply. The Leviathan Spotter on the other side, going to lose to that Ugly Duckling. And just like that, another double advance from Argon, almost touching with no cards on hand. 2 cards in reserve for each player and 1 card on hand for Tobis. Argon going to risk not putting mana? No, he puts mana right away. He doesn't have enough mana to play everything, but I think that what he has will be able to help him move forward. There we go with the Harpooner. Not so sure about moving forward right now. The shows, of course, the card costs 4 more. Going to go up to 4 because he didn't pass first. Argon is able to touch. He is on match point. After this, it could be over. Moves on to Argon's side. Doesn't mana. He actually couldn't risk manaing up right now. Going to play the safe one on the companion side. Going to get rid of it by using a mana eruption. I think it's time to pull the trigger with the Frog Prince. There we go. And Tobias knows he cannot play on both sides. He's not going to be able to. He doesn't have enough mana, most likely. And just like that, Argon takes the game. I want to see if he is he's an undefeated player. So it looks like Argon is an undefeated player. Indeed, he is, and he is playing right. He has also played his 8th round already, and also won that. So most likely Argon is going to be moving on as the one of the qualifying players, because we had more than 124 players. That means that actually we are just in the 124. Or 128, sorry. So it is 145 minus 21, 124. So yeah, we are above the 128 threshold in order to get 2 players qualified. So let's hope that is enough for players to get, for both players to get. I think it is for both players to qualify. And let's go ahead and check how is this. The next one has 77. We are moving forward. It will be starting in 5 days. No, sorry. Registration open until the 19th. Yeah, this is not right. The tournament starts in 5 days. No, this is when it opened. Okay. And this is what you have left before it starts. Okay, now I get it. So we are still 5 days away. We still have a chance to get those. Let's see, how many are we missing? 128 minus 77. 51 players remaining. If we can get another 51 players to register, we might be able to get another 2 players with the full series. Hope that was enjoyable for you guys. That'll be all for me this week. I think I may be able to get another stream in at this time on Thursday. So if you're watching this as a VOD, let me know if that would be okay for you. I really can't. It's hard for me to get streams early like I used to, mostly because of the things I need to be doing. But I may put the effort in if you guys ask me. Otherwise, you're always invited to watch the VODs that are on my YouTube channel, or join me on Twitch. So that'll be all for me, guys. Thank you very much. I hope that you enjoyed, like I said, today's stream, and I hope to see you next time.